I was talking to someone. I do a lot of work with artificial intelligence, and I'm trying to like. I know it's like, hey,
Yeah.
we need to think about this, but
Hmm.
can't consume everything that we do. And I was speaking to someone. He reached out to me in September about a conference in February, and he said to me, "Hey, I want you to watch this video and include it in your talk with the school board trustees about AI." I'm like, by February, this will be obsolete. Like this won't even be a
Yeah.
thing right now. And
Yeah.
so, like, one of my concerns right now is you're seeing all these people like AI, this thing. Oh, now you can do this thing. Now you can do this thing. It's now you can do this thing.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, 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 slow down. Like, how is this
Yeah.
actually? And I think you kind of said it, uh, you know, that you're not against the technology, neither am I. But it is
Right.
actually like you have to really focus on how it's improving learning, not like, hey, I can make a cool image if I just say a word
Right.
into Gemini. Like, okay, that's cool. Like anybody
Right.
can do that, but it's not
Yeah.
necessarily making the kid any smarter. It's just like becoming dependent upon this stuff. And it's like
Yeah.
all these AI gurus pushing the newest thing that just came out 3 seconds ago. And it's like, I am trying to just work within the 9 to 3 school day. Like, let's try to
Exactly.
figure this out. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate that you acknowledge that, right? Because that's probably something that you're seeing. I don't know how much you're seeing artificial intelligence being used in your schools or with your, the staff. Like, how
Or
are
it's
you seeing
being,
that?
or it's not being used.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
you have that factor too, like, oh my gosh, we can't have the kids on AI. I'm like, the kids can be on technology that has to be responsible.
Right.
And I always loved your quote that technology doesn't replace a
Yeah.
teacher. The day we are replaced with a computer, oh wait, we had that. It was called COVID.
Right. You're right.
And it did not go very well. And that was still with humans behind the screen. But I sat with, in California, I had 300 students at the middle school level on Zoom every day.
Mhm.
It was a nightmare. My grades went horribly down. A lot of kids I never saw come on the
Right.
computer. So I don't think we're looking at a world of computer-based teachers, but if you're going to utilize technology, we have to pull from it what is that's going to help our students understand things better. So when I'm teaching geometry and I can find something animated through Desmos or these other platforms that can manipulate figures, yes, I'm going to show it because it's a lot easier than me trying to draw it, and get them to, okay, now if you notice this corner is going to come all the way over here, it's hard to see that. So using technology wisely, even with the kids using their cell phones. Kids had cell phones in my classrooms all up until this year. And that's just because at the school I'm at right now, we have a cell phone lockdown policy through the school day, which I
Yep.
really appreciate
Yep.
because I have their attention. But instead of fighting the technology, I would always just say, all right, let's get out our phones. You're going to use them
Right.
as a calculator. You're going to use them as this. Things like that. And they would and I even had a charging station in my classroom, like charge your phone.
Yeah.
But it was that you have to give a little to get them back,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get them to come back.
Well, yeah, and that like I'm a big advocate. I'm not an advocate of like banning the stuff because
Yeah.
they have to learn how to use it. Because
Yeah.
you're probably seeing, and maybe I'm wrong here. You're probably seeing new teachers who were like, "Oh, these students." I'm like, so you see some of the new teachers, they're addicted too. Like they're obsessed with, and not even let's not even talk
Yeah.
about newer teachers. There's some
Yeah.
teachers that have been there for a while, and they're like, "Oh, these kids on their phones." I'm like, "Are you answering an email right now? Right? Like while we're doing
Yeah.
this, right?" So
Yeah.
there's a little bit of that. The one thing that you mentioned is how I've talked about how technology will never replace great teachers. I was teaching at the time of Khan Academy, and when
Yeah.
that first came out, and it was like, oh, like this is the end of the teaching profession. I'm like, I don't teach like that. Like
Yeah.
if that's what you think teaching is, like it's a great supplemental resource, but it's not going to
Exactly.
replace me. Like I could maybe leverage it, but if
Yes.
you teach like that, then you should have a concern. But I was never. There is not one moment I'm like, oh no, oh no. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's like that might be a little bit helpful, but you're not connecting with
Yeah.
anybody, and that's really powerful.